Today, I'm going to do my very best to show you how there may be other people that do it differently, but this is how I would go about completing single flavor testing for concentrates that I want to try to get an appreciation of the flavor and their effect, to then know how best to incorporate them into a recipe. I'll try my best to guide you through what I'm doing as I'm doing it, in the hopes that you can then learn how to do this as well and help you work better towards creating your own recipes.
So first I want to decide what flavour I want to mix up, and I have shortlisted both from Wonder Flavors, Soft Candy Base and also Dweeb Candy. I've chosen these two because for the longest time I have been trying my hardest to create a watermelon gummy flavoured e-liquid, and I have had little to no success on the gummy element of it. The watermelon side I can do fairly well, but anything that involves the gummy side of it, I'm just flailing around. But having a smell and a little finger test of these, I feel like these might be useful. Mix up a little batch of both of these and show you how I do it. So hopefully you can learn how to do this and then do it for yourselves in future. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go through some of the equipment that I'm going to use. Empty bottles, syringes, drawing needles, flavour concentrate. I normally would use scales, digital scales. Oh, I wouldn't break them. I usually use digital scales to do my mixing, but I'm not going to use that today. I'm just going to show you how to do it with syringes. Let's get to it. What I've got here is my empty bottle. And what we first need to figure out is how much concentrate we want to put in, or this is what I like to figure out first anyway. So I want to mix these at 5% each. And what I mean by 5% is a total of 5% of the complete e-liquid I'm going to make will be the flavouring. This is a 10 ml bottle. We need to figure out what 5% of 10 is. So what I would do is 10 divided by 100 and then times that answer by 5, which should bring you to 0.5, which means we use 0.5 mils of the concentrate in the bottle. This is where the syringe is coming. I mean, you could do it by eye if you really wanted to, but I'm not that good. So I've got my 2 ml syringe here, and I'm just going to measure it up to 0.5 and pop it in here. So I would get, let's go for the soft candy base first. It smells so good. It smells like it's going to be a very, very good candy, sort of gummy. I say candy, gummy, sort of sweetie flavour. So one thing you'll notice, if you can see that, if it's going to zoom in off, is it going to zoom in off? There's a little air bubble at the top of the syringe there. That little air bubble, there he is. That little air bubble is going to mess with the total amounts. Not by a lot, but by a little bit. So what I like to do is draw some into the syringe, push it out, and then draw it back in. And if you notice now, there is no air bubble. So there's a top tip, yeah? You're getting air bubbles, draw some in, push it back out, and then draw it up again, and the air bubble will be gone. And now I want to get down to 0.5, so voila. So that is, if I can get him to zoom on that, not on anything else. Zoom on that, please. I don't know how to make the camera zoom. There we go. Can you see that? 0.5 mils. Anyway, that's going in there. Voila. I'm making a 70-30 mix, so 70 parts VG, 30 parts PG. And as it's 10 mil, it should be easy enough for me to figure out how much PG to put in. I just need 2.5 mils of PG. This is all available from the E-Cig shop. Everything that you see me using is available, apart from this flavour. We've got other Wonder flavours available, but not Wonder flavour soft candy base. But you can get the flavourings and bottles and base mixes and syringes all from www.theecigshop.uk. I do need 2.5 mils of PG to go in there to complete the PG element, because I'm making a 70-30 as I mentioned. But I'm not going to measure it out. Don't really need to. You can if you want to, but I'm just going to eyeball it because it's not that important. All I want to know is about a third of the bottle is PG. And that looks good enough to me. Yeah, that looks all right to me. A little bit more perhaps. Voila. And then fill the rest of the bottle up with VG. Again, available from www.theecigshop.uk. We only stock 100% rapeseed origin VG here, which is the highest quality stuff you can get. So, got everything I need in my bottle. Just fill the rest of the bottle up with the VG. Pop the nozzle on, pop the cap on, give them a shake. But I just want to point out, if you guys can see, I don't think it's going to show very well, but the separation between the PG and the VG, you can see it all sort of like separating and swirling around in there. But basically what you want to do is shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Violently, if you can. And once you see there's air bubbles distributed evenly throughout that liquid in there, then you're good. All you do then is slap a label on it so you know what it is. I'll do that now. And this is Wonder Flavours Candy Base. I'd like to know what date it is. So today's the 3rd of August 22. And I put the mix percentage 5%. And that way it's all the information you need when coming to try it. So with that particular flavor, I'm gonna leave it anything up to around a week and then give it a taste. And hopefully from the flavor that this gives, I should know better how much of it to use in a mix with other flavors to create a whole new flavor. I'm now gonna do the exact same thing with the Dweeb candy. That can go there. Fresh syringe, so once you've used that, you don't want to use the same, well, you can if you want to. If it's your own stuff, it's not a problem, but I don't want to use the same syringe because I don't want any of the previous flavor affecting how this one tastes. But it's going to be mixed at 5% again as well. How much you test the flavors at is entirely up to you, but anything from 4 to 8% tends to be what a majority of the brands recommend for a single flavor test for you to get an appreciation for what the flavor tastes like. So let's go with the Dweeb candy, which I think is supposed to be a Nerds, as you can see, or if you can, there's that air bubble on the top again. So I'm just gonna squirt all of that back in there and then pull up again, pull up, and then squirt it down. So I've only got 0.5 mils of the concentrate left in there. If it's gonna focus on it, where's the numbers? There you go, 0.5 mils in the bottle. And then I'm gonna want 2.5 mil of PG. And what I will do this time is measure out the PG so you can see that process being done with me. So what I like to do if I'm measuring out PG or concentrates in a syringe is I'll hold the syringe like this with my thumb at the bottom and then fill it up. I want 2.5 mils. So there's the 2 mil. Then if you can see that, it's around 2 mils in there. And then I would move my finger out the way, put the 2 mil in the bottle, make sure to plunge them all in. And then a 0.5 mil. That's a little bit over 0.5 mil, but it's not gonna be the end of the world. Don't have to be too accurate with these things. And then get the VG. I'll center him again so you can see what I'm doing. Get our VG, fill him up to the top of the bottle, or the base of the neck of the bottle rather. So about there. Cap back on the VG, get him on nozzle, pop him on there, put cap on, give it a good shake, and then again, well that's not shaken up enough, but for the purpose of the demonstration that's enough shaken up. Label him up, make sure it's shaken up thoroughly, and I'll leave that one around a week or so, come back to him and give him a try. So we'll go from there, decide how much to use, if any at all, in any of my recipes moving forward. So that's pretty much it. That is it. That's how we mix up single flavors to try. I wouldn't recommend doing this with one shots. So anything that has a more strict recommended mix percentage, usually 15 to 20% with a vast majority of one shots, testing those at lower amounts isn't really going to be able to give you a good enough appreciation for what the flavor is supposed to taste like, because the recommended mix percentage of one shots has been decided by the creator to provide the flavor that is intended. But single flavors, such as your Capellas, your TFAs, your Flavor West, some Wonder flavors, there's loads and loads of other brands out there. They are designed to be used to create new flavors rather than just enjoyed by themselves, but they can still be used by themselves. But how I use them mostly is combine loads of single flavors together to create a new flavor. But in order to figure out how much of each of those individual single flavors I should be using,
do some single flavor testing, which is what you've just seen me do, and hopefully you understand that. And we'll take it from there. I might be back at some point in the future just to go through, if I do decide to use either of those flavors, go through what I would then do with the information I gathered from testing the flavors in about a week's time. I'm gonna give them a try on a dripper, see what they taste like, and I'll be able to decide I'd like that incorporated in a recipe, but I'd like to use more than 5% or even less than 5% based on how it tasted when I actually tested the flavors in a week's time. Hopefully that all made sense. I did a lot of talking, I always do. 9 times out of 10, my talking seems to be taken well, and hopefully this is one of those 9 times. Peace.